Hello! Welcome
To
Gacha Rock and Roll!
yes.
Hello everybody, we are back. And we have a special treat for you guys because we're doing, once again, a double weekend episode. So we're gonna have an episode out today and we're gonna have an episode out tomorrow. Today is Saturday, June the 12th, Independence Day for the Philippines. And tomorrow will be the start of E3. E3.
Well,
What does
for us,
E3 stand for, by the way?
I
Electronic X something Expo.
yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
Something like that.
we've got two big episodes to talk about, and today is our first one. So,
Woo!
the following
Yay!
episode, we must warn you. The following episode contains spoilers for Fate Grand Order Lostbelt 6 Avalon Lefay, the moment a planet/star is born.
The more a star is born or something.
If the title wasn't enough to convince you that you shouldn't be here if you don't want spoilers, this warning right now will do just that.
yes.
And we will give you maybe a couple of minutes as we discuss something else before getting into the nitty-gritty. So you have many chances. Many chances.
We'll talk about a bit of extra stuff first.
Yes. That being, Ryan here has finished Lostbelt 4.
Yes. I finally finished it.
So,
it took
how
me a bit,
was-
but yeah.
And what I find interesting is that they're saying that Nasu wrote, what is that, 500 something. He wrote a whole stacks of paper worth
Yeah.
of content, of dialogue for Lost Belt 6. And Lost Belt 6 is currently split into two parts.
Yeah.
The first part is only 30% of all that he wrote, and it's as long as Lost Belt 4 was.
Yeah.
So,
Just the 30%.
so how long was Lost Belt 4?
Around 20 sections.
Yeah.
20 sections, right? And
So if one were to binge the Lost Belt, assuming they win every battle
okay,
the first
assuming
time,
you win every battle and that
the first time.
you don't skip any dialogue, you like read it out, and you're probably like on auto or something, it'll still take you probably an entire day to finish, right? Like if you're like doing nothing else and you're just doing that, I would think, unless you like one turn all the fights, which is really hard to do, but yeah, I think it'll take you around a day to finish it up.
Yeah. So, how was the story?
Gotta say, it's not my favorite Lost Belt, but it's definitely second best in terms of story.
It's up there.
It's up there. I liked it. I enjoyed the you know, the way the story was played out, you know, how everything was presented and how everything went through. I liked it. It felt right for a Indian Lost Belt,
I see.
you know, if you could
And
say.
where would you say Asha stacks up among the person that lives in the Lost Belt that you remember is going to die when you finish the Lost Belt?
I think she makes a bigger impact definitely than like some of the others.
Like,
Like
we got Patsy.
like
we've got,
Patsy had a really big impact
Yeah.
because he reaffirmed like that this is what you have to do, and you know you gotta go through with it. Gerda is a bit forgetful, forgettable.
Well,
So are the
wondering-
Chinese people.
You remember how Gerda died?
Yes,
So
the
that's-
way
that's-
Gerda disappeared is kind of sad, but
I'm not done with the Lost Belt yet, so don't tell me how Asha goes. Is it
Mhm.
sad? That's all I'll ask.
it makes you remember her.
Oh, interesting.
The way she disappears, it makes you remember her.
But so yeah, so you'd say who's number one? Patsy,
Probably Patsy, and then Asha,
and then Gerda.
and then Gerda,
And
and,
then
then the Chinese
Chinese
people. 'Cause
Boy, there was a boy in
People.
particular, I guess. Yeah. All right, and man, I must say, like, they really did introduce a lot of new concepts, new interesting dynamics to the story. I like that Fate Grand Order manages to keep the story fresh even now. You have Scandinavia Peperoncino, or whatever his real name is,
yeah,
being on your side, which is from the beginning. Well, not really the beginning, but like
he's
early
not,
on. Unlike, well, Ophelia sides with you, but that's in the end because
That's
of
at the
Circle,
end.
right?
Yeah.
Here, he's there. He's
Yeah.
there helping you.
Uh huh.
I mean, of course, he's a cryptor, so I imagine you'd have to fight him at some point anyway.
Yeah, you will fight him. You will, because like each Lost Belt it has to have the cryptor fight where they use their
Mhm.
command seals and stuff for their servant.
Oh, this reminds me as well, and this is a bit of a tie into Lost Belt 6.
Yeah.
What makes Pepe everyone's favorite crypter. Like,
Because
because from what I'm seeing, people really like Pepe, Kadok, and Kirstaria. Actually, even Ophelia to an extent. But like,
yeah.
people seem to really like Pepe a lot.
'Cause
Kadok followed by...
Pepe is a personality. He's a really interesting guy. Like, we don't know where he comes from. He's positive and negative, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot of things also. It's like he's very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that really attracts people to his character. You know, people really enjoy that kind of mysterious character that can be an ally, can be an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
Maybe-
keeps people on their toes. You know,
Maybe it's also because Pepe's not a bad person.
well, bad is a, you know, it's.
I mean, he's not like...
relative,
He's
I
no
would
barrel
say.
gut.
He's
in
no
terms
barrel
of-
gut,
In
yeah.
terms of... you know,
Cruelty and stuff.
yeah,
he's no barrel
Pepe.
gut.
So, right. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. The servants. This batch. How have they impacted your game? Are they a good batch? Even guys like Asclepius and William Tell, or as we like to call him, Big Boss.
Yeah.
So how were they? What were they like for this? For you for this Lostbelt? Were they, were they these servants that were impactful? Were they? I guess the real question is, for some people, I do know that the story they're in convinces them to roll for them.
Yes.
I've met people who are like that. Like, at first they didn't want to roll for this character.
Yeah. One of my friends was like that. Like, he grailed Salieri because of how he played a part in Lostbelt 1.
Ah, really?
Yeah. He also grailed his Billy the Kid
I see.
because of that, yeah.
Well, in terms of that though, I must say this batch is I feel like Godhuna carries the batch, but they're not a bad batch.
No, I wouldn't say that they're a bad batch. No, it's like
Because like Godhuna seems to be
He's the,
this
like-
is who you roll for.
yeah, of course. But then like the others are really kind of enjoyable personalities or like interesting characters. Like especially like one of my favorites is definitely William Tell.
Ah,
You know, because they talked about how his story, diba? Like he had to shoot an apple off the head of his son
really?
with a crossbow. Yeah,
Did he do it?
because he like offended somebody or something like that. He didn't miss,
Oh, great.
but like
I wonder he's
yeah.
an archer.
yeah. It was really nice to see
Mm-hmm.
that, and then Asclepius is an interesting way how they took,
A god of medicine.
he's not a god, but like
Isn't
people consider him a god, the god of medicine, but he's not actually a god.
He's just a
He's just a hero. He's a Greek hero
he's
who
a really good doctor.
an extremely good. I mean, there's a reason why they got rid of him. He could bring people back to life.
Really?
Yes, he could. He had a solution for death.
Did he know?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, then again, I never heard of Asclepius until Fate Grand Order, so I didn't even know
if
about
you wanna look
that
at
myth.
look up the Argonautai. There are a lot of interesting
He's
heroes. Yes, Asclepius was the medical officer basically of the Argonauts.
Well, the Argonauts must have been stacked, You had
Of course, you have
had
Hercules,
Theseus, you had
You had all those
Atalante,
people.
Medea, Circe for a time. Asclepius was there too?
Yeah, Asclepius was an
My
Argonaut.
God. Well, I guess it sheds light on the lesser known members of the Argonauts, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. And yeah, that should wrap our brief discussion on Lostbelt 4 without diving too much into spoilers.
Yeah, we don't
mainly because
wanna-
I don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah,
About certain
because
stuff.
he's not finished yet, so
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
don't
there.
want to say anything.
So, you've had about 9 minutes. If you're still here, I assume you already know what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
You don't care about spoilers,
or you're interested in what happened so far.
or the rare chance you're interested in what we think.
Yeah.
So, with that, we are now going to begin our Lostbelt 6 discussion.
Discussion.
So, where to begin with this one?
This one is really, really interesting, gotta say.
All right, let's figure out first. Do you want to talk about what happened, or who showed up first?
I think we should talk about who showed up first, because the servant banners that came out in JP, it's kind of obvious, right?
So, let's get some of them elephants out of the room. Let's start with Morgan.
Yes.
Holy good lord, she looks good.
She looks very good. I love her art. I really gotta commend who drew her. I think it was Takeuchi.
Who else would it be?
Of course. But like, I'm pretty sure it was Takeuchi. But
I must say though, some people seem to be upset that she just looks like Artoria again.
she's her sister. Come on, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like,
yeah, but like that's like saying
I'm-
they're not twins.
like okay, I'm fine because she's like okay. I don't like Artoria faces as much as everyone does. Nobody wants to see more.
Okay, I mean she is
But
one.
she's one, but she looks more like the altar,
Okay.
and she doesn't look completely like Artoria. Her voice actor is even different. So like
Well, yeah, Mikasa
it-
from
it-
Attack on
it
Titan.
passes for me. Like I'm completely fine with that.
I see. Well,
And I really like her animations and her character art. It's like great. I love it.
yeah. So it's been about a day or 12 hours, I guess, if not a little less,
A couple of
since
hours,
she's come out.
Yeah.
Is she a DPS or a support?
She's kind of both, but
Is that good or is that bad? That she's both.
I don't know. I can't say that it's bad, because she can really have a big output of DPS, from how it looks like. Because I think she's more of a, I don't know, crit based servant
I
because
see.
of her third skill. But the main thing is that like she has the potential for big DPS because like she has all those buff skills, her NP charge and whatnot. But then like it also seems kind of off place that she's a berserker and she has all those like supporting skills and stuff. But you know, overall I think she would be a great servant. That's for sure. And for if you're like matching her up to other berserkers, I would roll for her over God Huna.
Oh, yes, I see your point. We're not gonna go too much into the story part yet, but is she the king of this Lostbelt?
I'm not sure. I think she is. I think
Um,
she is because she's not Barrel Servant.
Yeah, we'll talk about Beryl Servant in a bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, so with Morgan, we'll get back to Morgan as well.
We'll get back
Let's
to
talk
Morgan.
about well, this stream in general really surprised me because they showed the bad guys. Most
Yeah,
of them,
they
I didn't
used
expect
most
that.
of the bad
I
guys,
mean,
the
then again, there
enemies.
probably isn't much good guys
Yeah.
anyway. But we had the three knights who showed up. You had the big, well-endowed woman who turned out to be Fairy Knight Gawain.
Yes.
You had Fairy Knight Tristan and Fairy Knight Lancelot. Okay, so first off, these fairies are not Gawain, Tristan, and Lancelot, right?
They're not actually them. That's just their title because
Yeah.
they're members of the Fairy Round Table.
So what we have here is really interesting in the sense that they're actual fairies. Like Kite Sith, I believe, is one of them.
Yes, Kite Sith is the
Um,
Gawain, I think.
yes,
And Baoband Sith is what you call it, the Tristan.
Yes.
Both are Celtic fairies from that kind of myth. Most likely they used Celtic because it's kind of close, I guess, to
To
British. Like the Celts were kind of involved, you could say, in Arthurian myth. So I guess it's fine. And they have a lot more fairies in their
Mhm.
lore. That's for sure.
Oh, and we also forgot to mention Fairy Knight Lancelot, who may be Melusine. I don't know who that is. According to
I haven't
I
searched it
thought-
up yet.
I
will.
thought Fairy Lancelot would be the Lady of the Lake herself.
Vivian. Yeah, I just think she's a bit too small to be Vivian.
Or perhaps she's a child in this. Well,
I don't know. I mean, it's already like fun fact. Like it's already 2017 in that Lost
Oh
Belt, right?
yes.
So
Lots of
how
things
I
could
don't
have
think
changed. Yeah,
that
that's true.
Vivian would be like that in that case.
Right. So those would be the those are okay. You have the knights, fairy knights. You have
Yeah.
Morgan who showed up. We also have let's talk about some of the good guys. How do you say her name? Herbertrot.
Habitrot.
Habitrot.
Habitrot. I
Really
think.
tight. She may be the smallest servant I've ever seen. Have you seen her?
Small. I don't know if they're smaller. I don't know. Like, is she smaller than Banyan? We'll see.
Have you not seen her?
I have seen her. She's
That's-
like riding the thingy. Like,
So obviously without the thing, she's minuscule.
minuscule. Yeah. but
Even with it, I think
I don't know
Bunyan's
if
bigger.
anyone can be smaller. I'm not sure if anyone's smaller.
I don't know. She's pretty small. From what
She
it
is
looks like.
pretty small. Yeah.
But it's interesting that they're really grasping, not at straws, but they're grasping for myths that are so obscure. But
I love it. That's why I love.
that's
this
what makes
game.
Fate cool. You know,
Yeah.
they grab even the most obscure of myths and make them cool.
Yeah.
And you actually look them up. Like, we didn't know.
Like, we didn't know
who
who the
Habitrot
hell
was at first.
Habitrot or Baobab Sith or
Balban Sith. Kite
Kite
Sith.
Sith.
Final Fantasy players may recognize that name.
Kite Sith.
Final Fantasy VII especially.
The black cat.
The Black
fairy.
Cat, yes. Even then, that's a lot of stuff to get through. So how many servants did they introduce to us? Morgan, the Fairy Knights, the three of
the
them.
Fairy Knights, Morgan,
Habitrot?
Habitrot, Fairy Lancelot.
Yeah, that's
That-
5.
I think that's everyone
Newly introduced.
that we can fight or just
That we are aware of. Like,
uh,
regardless of if they're enemies or if they were allies.
Oberon.
Oh yes, Oberon. Oh. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Like, okay, I have to be blunt. I have to be extremely blunt. That's very ugly art.
Look, knowing the story of the artist who came from who that art comes
sure,
from,
it's the first
this
time.
is the very first time.
It's her first time making art for a video game.
Not
So
only that, that's
like,
her signature.
it's her like
She has
signature
two-
style.
She has 2 whole series of manga. Chika Umino, as she's called, has 2 whole manga series, and I think an anime, if not another one,
yeah.
about her art. It fits those works. If you see, neither of us have seen it, but we don't mean to offend fans of that show, those shows or those mangas.
Like, it's just that, like, if you're comparing the art
I mean, of
to
course.
yeah, it's her first time, so I'm being blunt so that maybe like, maybe what you call it, there'll be an improvement in the future.
Yeah, we've only seen.
Like, I'm not saying that, you know, it's bad all around. It's just saying that compared to a lot of the other art, it's really ugly.
Yeah, one would assume, based on that Oberon is a 2 or a 3 star, as people hope.
Yeah,
It seems.
because like he looks like the art of a 3-star.
Yeah.
Like he like there.
Takeuchi's never drawn a 3 star, has he?
I think he has,
Who?
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But like he looks like a 3-star.
Yeah.
He does look like one. Not gonna lie, he does look like one.
But we'll see. You know.
We'll see. I guess. Yeah.
I must say, I mean, Oberon. I guess people expected him to show up, given the.
Given the
fairies.
fairy thing. Yeah.
He's the king of
and
fairies,
Titania is also there.
Yes, but we don't know if Titania is a servant
Yes.
or she's just there.
Either. I mean, Oberon could be the actual Oberon for all we know.
Yeah.
Like,
That's when
it's
it
just
gets
that they
interesting.
become servants later, right?
Mhm.
But then, like, Titania, I gotta say that art is nice.
Alright.
Titania's art is very nice.
Yeah.
Oberon's art is
Not so much.
Not so much.
Right. Now we can also talk a bit about the servants we know of already who do show up. For example, red hair. What's
I'm
red
not
hair
sure.
doing?
Well, I guess it makes sense that he's
He's
like
a horse.
Yeah, I suspect that he was summoned by the world.
The horse.
Yeah,
I mean, I get
because
it.
like each Lostbelt has some kind of servant summoned from the counter force
Is
to contest the
okay.
Lostbelt in a way, right? Like Lostbelt 1, you had like Nyanta Alter.
Oh right.
We also had like
Napoleon.
Napoleon in like Lostbelt 2. In Lostbelt 3, there was like like
Chen Gong and red hair.
Red Hair Chen Gong.
Who's in 4?
Lostbelt 4, Lakshmi Bai,
Lakshmi Bai,
and
yeah.
Junako. Well, Junako was a interesting case, but
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that later. Yeah, basically them. Lostbelt 5, it was what you call it, the heroes of the Argonauts
Yeah.
in Atlantis.
And every
And-
electricity-based hero. It
yeah,
seems.
in Olympus, electricity-based heroes, and
and
Lartoria for some reason.
Lancer Alter, by the way.
Yeah,
Just being sure.
Lancer Alter. Yeah, but basically those servants were summoned there as a
Yeah.
way for the counterforce to contest the existence of the Lostbelt in a way. So I suspect Red Hair is being summoned again because he kind of fits the area.
I don't think he's
Because
the
they're
only one.
Definitely he's not the only one, but
It's
like
just
he fits because they're
He's a
all
horse.
animal people. So like,
well, wouldn't Tamamo also fit?
she would.
Maybe she's there. We don't know.
Maybe she's there.
That would be interesting.
Maybe she
actually, if
finally
she's
gets to fight freaking Koyonskaya.
Koyonskaya. Yeah, that'd be interesting though. Tamamo would fit the bill. She's a cat, a fox rather.
Fox.
Well,
Fox.
the other one's a cat.
Fox.
You know, yeah.
Fox.
She's a fox. The other one's a cat. I mean, I actually thought Edison was gonna show up on.
Oh yeah, because of the, there was the
one.
one lion-headed guy.
It's
He
not
looks-
Edison. It's the
not-
president
that-
of the United States in the Lost
that,
Belt.
that is not the Pressy King, okay? That's not the
Alright.
Pressy King.
Let's see what else we've got. Oh, before I forget, let's talk about Kukulin.
Oh yes, Kukulin
He got animation updates,
But that's not the only thing.
and he got new lines.
Like, did they rework all of his voice lines?
No, I think they added new voice lines. I don't know if they were reworked, but I think they added voice lines because Kukulin was basically the first servant you get, right? Outside of Mash herself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's been around since the beginning. And it's only, what, now that he gets animation updates?
Yeah.
But even then, you know, here he is. You know, he has lines
But
with...
I don't know. Did they update his voice lines or they add new ones or they changed
I think
it?
both.
Because like it's a bit, it throws me off a bit with his newer voice lines that they added.
Oh, did you look them up?
Like, no, you told me the other
Oh,
day,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Last night. I
Like, you told me the other voice lines that they added, and like, it doesn't seem like it fits.
The theory? or...
If what you call it, if for example, like, it's still the same person,
Yeah?
like, it kind of doesn't make sense, if you ask me. It's like, why would he have those voice lines if he still talks like normal Kukulin? Because, like, the theory goes is that he's Odin, right?
Yes, that is the theory. That certain servants, Irish and Scandinavian, have voice lines with him. Brynhilder, Sigurd, Skahak, and Skadi.
Yeah, with like Celtic related and like
Sigurd and Brynhilder?
Celtic. Well, related. Because like Scandinavian and Celtic are close.
Oh,
They're
okay.
pretty close.
My bad.
Like if you think about it, they're
Okay,
actually pretty
I didn't know
close.
that. Yeah, so would you believe the theory if it turns out to be true?
I would. It makes sense. Like
Does it? I mean, what would...
I find
okay.
it really interesting. Like I'm not surprised about gods using servants as hosts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised
Because one of
it's
them was a
happened
Lost Belt
before.
king.
One of them became a Lostbelt king. Yeah. Yeah. But then, like, in using this form, for the All Father, like most of his voice lines with those Scandinavian or Celtic servants, indicate what you call
He's
it,
hiding something.
that he's more than meets the eye. Like, why would he be the one to teach Skahak runes?
When
he's-
would he have done that?
When would he have
Kukulin
done? Yeah,
that?
because Skahak taught Kukulin how to use runes.
Well, who taught Skahak to use runes?
I'm
Was
not
it
sure.
Was it Odin?
Maybe it was. But like he also has like voice lines with Skadi that sounds very, very suspicious. Like Skadi was one of his wives, so it's like there's nothing more to say because of that's where the Lost Belt that you came from. So
Yeah, but don't the Celts have their own pantheon?
I'm
Like
I
Kukulin
guess-
is the son of Lugh, who is a god of light in the Celtic mythology.
yeah, but like I think the people like to draw lines in between them because like it's really similar in some ways.
I see.
Another thing is that what you call it, the one with Sigurd, his voice lines, right?
Oh, don't look at me with
don't
your
look at
glasses.
me with your glasses too intently, or you might, because like there might be like, why would he say that if he's just a druid?
Druid, that's the term I was
Like
looking
he's
for.
a druid, right?
Yeah.
Why would he say that to Sigurd? Like you don't want to look at me too intently with that.
Yeah.
Like why? It's so suspicious. Like come on, there's something more. Like.
Right.
And it makes sense that he was featured in the trailer,
Mhm.
like trailer for Arc 2, and he is here now. and he got an animation update, like, and and he has another noble phantasm. It's like, there's so much more than meets the eye here that they're not revealing to us.
Yeah, the All-Father.
The All-Father himself is in Chaldea.
Because you'd be wondering, first off, what the hell were you doing during the Lostbelt 2?
Well, then again, he only got back now, you could say. Or, like, we don't know when he's gonna be involved.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We don't know when he's
If
gonna
he
be
is,
involved.
even.
He probably is, because, like, he was featured in a lot of the trailers, right?
Yeah, but that was just for the trailers of the arc moving forward.
Yeah. But why would they choose him specifically?
Oh, to have an animation update now?
Yeah.
Ah.
Maybe he's featured later in this Lostbelt. Or maybe
Perhaps,
he's featured in a later Lostbelt. We'll see. But, like,
That's very possible, yes.
there's a strong possibility that he has something to... You're gonna need him for something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if
And-
he's the All-Father, then he knows something that everyone doesn't.
Here's what's interesting as well. He could be Odin if the theory holds up, right?
Yeah.
If it's true, what happens to the servant gameplay wise? Kukulane caster. Does he become upgraded? Do we get another version of him that's Odin revealed?
Perhaps what they're going to do
Are they
is
gonna
like...
do what they did with Mash from a 3-star, make it a 4-star?
No. I think what they might do is that, like, if they ever do have something like that, they're gonna make, like, another servant, like, for Odin. Because it would be kind of weird. Like, and maybe they'll transfer the voice lines from there to there.
So would this be a case like Roma? You know, they used Caligula as a catalyst
Like,
to
as a
summon
catalyst
Roma,
to
right?
summon... Yeah. Maybe something
Maybe that's
like
how they
that.
summon Odin. Or, assuming he's an
Summon
Odin
himself.
already. You know, like...
Well, not sure. There's
That's
definitely
complicated.
something suspicious about what you call
Kukulane
it, Kukulane Caster, especially with his voice lines. He's basically going... He's the All-Father.
Is
I
there a
can
possibility
accept
he's
that.
another Norse god? Not necessarily Odin? On the off chance, maybe. Like
I
maybe
think
he's-
it's an off... It's a
maybe
really
he's Thor,
off
Maybe
chance.
he's Loki. Maybe
I think
he's-
it's a more off chance because, like, Kukulane's primary noble phantasm has Odin in the name, right?
Yes, that's true. Wicker Man is only
Is his
one of his noble
secondary.
phantasms. That's his offensive one. He actually has another one. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the name of Odin is in it. You can
Yeah.
look it up in his wiki.
Who knew people would be looking Kukulane Caster up in the wiki? That's first.
Hey, FGO's made us do stranger things.
yeah, that's true.
Let's
Sometimes we
see.
look for Angrus Bond CE.
Yeah.
What kind of crazy person that gets
So,
that? But, you know.
aside from Kukulane Caster, / Odin, if that's him, Muramasa's here.
Well, yeah,
he's in this
Muramasa's
Lost Belt.
helping, and he is in the Lostbelt an alter ego class servant
Yeah.
rather than a saber.
Here's
so
the
we know that this is a different Muramasa.
he's the story Muramasa. He's not the. Is this the guy that helped you in Shimosa, or was that another one?
I can't really confirm that.
They never really explained that, did they?
They never really did. But for Muramasa to be there though,
It's interesting that he's on your side. I think Rasputin Kotomine did mention that Beryl is officially an enemy of the foreign god.
yes.
So it makes sense
I guess
for
it makes sense
Muramasa
that
to
he's
be
helping
there.
you. Also, another interesting thing is that they said in Lostbelt 4 that like each disciple of the alien god
alter
has
ego.
each alter ego has their own personal goal.
Oh.
That's not related to the goal of the alien god. Like Koyanskaya tried to become a beast, right?
Yeah. What's Kirei's goal?
I'm not
Rasputin?
sure. I'm not sure about him. But like
What?
Ashiya Doman tried to destroy everything. Like
And
he
Mur-
wanted to make his own Lostbelt hell
okay.
of his past life, right? And destroy it all.
Muramasa?
Perhaps
Isn't his
more
goal to
a
make the
more
perfect sword?
No. Like perhaps his goal is actually to get close enough to the alien god
To kill it?
to kill it himself, because he was summoned by the counterforce in Shimosa.
Typical Shiro Emiya.
Typical Shiro Emiya, right? Like he's still the hero. He's
Yeah.
still the hero of justice has returned. Oh my.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, lest we forget, we have to talk about Mash, because obviously she's very important, but what happens here, by the way, as we're talking, I am currently on our Grand Order in Reddit.
R/Grand Order.
Yeah, so I'm looking up currently stuff that's being updated as we speak.
Yeah. To the story, to what's happening, to fights and events
Yeah.
that happen in the thing.
So first up, they said that Mash gets her powers back.
All of it.
So she's
Full
back to old
Galahad.
full Galahad Mash.
And she gets
Once
level
again.
100, right?
She gets level 100 support, right? One, Galahad's back. He woke up again, supposedly. That's what the Reddit
That's
is
why
saying.
he's there.
He's back and he restored Mash's powers. So in
Yeah.
the future we'll have old Mash back. Here's
Hopefully.
something that shocked me, and I'm about to shock Ryan with.
What?
You know who else came back?
Who?
Risa Taneda. The original voice of Mash.
Wow.
Before Rie Takahashi.
Wow.
Mash is using Risa Taneda's voice lines in Lostbelt 6.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Risa's back.
Why? That's so suspicious. Why would they change the voice actor?
Well,
That's so suspicious.
Quick question. Why did she leave?
Who, Reri?
Yeah.
I don't think she
wasn't
left.
But then why is Rie Takahashi the voice of Mash now?
Oh wait, well that I'm not sure. But then like
She left. When did she leave?
I don't recall. Like I don't think I was with the fan base that long where the voice of Mash was still.
So this whole
Her.
time we've experienced her as Rie Takahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Risa Taneda came back.
Like is that the same Mash?
I don't know.
Perhaps it's a different Mash. I don't
How
know.
can there be another Mash?
I don't know, man. Like, this Lostbelt is really confusing. Okay, like there was some stuff about body swapping or something.
We'll get to that.
I'm not
We'll
sure.
get to that,
Like, I was so
because
confused.
The
Like,
story's still going on.
like there's so
so-
much like crap that's happening. Like at the start, you lose your memories, then you lose each other, then you find each other again, gain your memories back. Like what's happening? Like what?
Sounds like a wild only Kinoko Nasu can write.
Yeah, like it's definitely a Nasu story. Like it is a
Oh.
Nasu story through and through.
He might as well have written a book.
I don't know. It's like all that dialogue. Like wow.
Yeah. So, but still, it's interesting. So the old voice actress comes back with the old voice lines.
What do you mean the old voice lines? Like where can we hear it? Like
In the fight
fights?
where Mash is a support.
It's the old
It's
Mash,
Risa Taneda's voice lines.
rather than what the frick? That's
We don't know if
but it's only during that fight though.
that I know of. We're not saying like Rie Takahashi got fired or something. We have no idea.
She's still there because she still does the Caldea radio
Yeah.
thing once in a while.
Yeah. We have no idea what this means, by the way.
That
Well,
that makes me kind of concerned.
in a good way and a bad way.
Both, I guess. Like good as in like there's something interesting happen. Bad as in I'm worried that Mash might
Not be
have
Mash.
a problem.
Well, we have been introduced to fairy knights. Is this Mash a fairy?
Or like, maybe Risa Taneda is voicing another servant in the Lostbelt and she's disguised as Mash.
But who would she be?
I don't know.
Well, I did have a theory at the beginning that maybe that's the Galahad of this Lostbelt, fairy Galahad. You know,
What? Wait, I don't get it. Wait.
we have fair. Okay.
So why does it look like Mash? Is a Mash
She's
a
already
fairy?
a woman.
Is Mash a fairy?
Hey, stranger things are happening in this Lostbelt.
I'm concerned.
We don't know.
Oh
Hey,
my god.
Hey, think about it like this as well. Morgan's still a woman. She's no fairy.
I think she's always been a woman.
Well, Artoria used to always
Like
be a
in
man.
both, like okay, but like because that's a gender you can't change. Because Morgan is always a woman. Like in all versions of Arthurian myth, Morgan is always a woman.
Ah,
Even
yeah.
in Arthur Pendragon prototype,
she's a woman.
she's still a woman.
Okay.
Like you can't change that.
No, but remember,
He
we
needs
have-
them
No,
loins.
no. Remember. The real Tristan is in this Lostbelt too.
That I'm confused. He's just a human.
No,
How is
maybe
he
you.
alive?
No, I think you summon him.
You summon the real
You know,
Tristan.
like how you summon Karna and Rama in India. You summon Spartacus.
Oh, so you
Mordred.
summoned
Like
Tristan.
them. I think you summon Tristan
Why Tristan?
because he's from Camelot.
You're lucky, huh? Get a Knight of the Round
No,
Table.
it's like summoning Karna and Rama in India.
Yeah, I guess.
I think that's the same concept. Why Tristan? I don't know.
You're
Could have summoned Gawain.
Maybe
Then again,
I don't
Gawain
know.
met his... If Gawain met his female self...
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Go in, you got shit on by the
The
female version of you.
who is not as good of a cook, apparently,
Not as good of a cook.
as the regular Gawain.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. You know, you have the old MASH voice and everything. I don't know if this is MASH, honestly. There is some possibility. I mean, think about it. She could be Fairy Knight Galahad. That's why she has her full power.
Okay.
Maybe that's just theory. She just thinks it because this sort of arc with, you know, you have fairy versions of the characters. This reminds me of Black Clover. Like, I'm a Black Clover fan, and the elf arc is very similar to this. Only in the sense of, you know, you have fairy versions of the same person, reincarnations. That's what I thought originally. But this time, you've got fairies taking on the names of these knights.
Yeah, like the name of the knight is a title rather than the actual
So it's a fairy,
name.
right? But here's the thing. Mash is not a human. She's a homunculus. With a lifespan of a human being.
Yes.
She's already not human. So she belongs. Doesn't she?
Does she?
I mean, would a homunculus be considered a human?
No.
Then there you go.
Oh.
See this madness. Only Nasu can make us dive deeper into this madness to figure it out.
we don't get half of what's going on. This is only 30% of the story, so it makes sense that we don't get anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Like, we're just confused everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, the trailer for the Lostbelt didn't answer a lot of questions.
Right. And now, before we get on to the actual what happened in the story, there's one more servant we have to talk about. Murian, the fairy Murian, who is Kazura Drop. Now, Ryan is more versed in the BB alter egos than I am, so help our listeners understand. Who is Kazura Drop and why is it a bad thing that she's there?
Okay. Like, for you people who know, you know, the Fate extra stuff and the stuff that happened with BB, everyone's getting PTSD because of how bad she is, Kazura Drop.
Okay.
Like, inside that tiny little lolly face is true evil.
True evil?
Yeah, if you thought BB was bad, this woman is worse.
Really?
I gotta say, this woman is worse. Like, if you think BB is scary, this
Crazy.
woman is worse. Like, I would say this woman is worse. I don't like this woman at all.
I remember that the alter egos have some sort of personality of their own. Like, for example, like, like, Meltrilis is a masochist?
No, she's a sadist.
She's a sadist. Passion Lip is a masochist. What is...
Hey, wait, like a...
You know what I mean,
like,
those sort of things, right?
Kind of.
And what was King Protea?
Yandere.
So what is Kazura Drop? Or is she just crazy?
A nihilist.
Okay, a nihilist.
Destroy everything because I like I saw when we got a picture of her, all the people in the comments said, "Send her back to the moon cell, please."
This is where it gets interesting. First of all, how'd she get there?
I
in the
don't
first
know.
place?
I'm so concerned. Like,
she's a fairy under the name of Murian, so maybe it just looks like Kazura Drop. Maybe it's a very, 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 very small coincidence. Because I don't know the fairy Murian, but that's her name in the game. It doesn't say Kazura Drop, it says Murian.
Okay.
Fairy Murian.
Fairy Murian. Do you really think that's her real name? I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's crap. Because I don't trust a single thing this tiny little woman, like this tiny little fairy woman, like I don't care. Like I don't trust a single thing that comes out of her mouth. Especially that she's the servant of freaking Beryl Gut.
That's the other thing as well. How do you summon an alter ego
You can't. You're not supposed to be able to. It doesn't make sense.
Also, too, how do you summon an alter ego from the future who is not a human?
And she's digital. Like
She's
it's-
digital.
That it's so like okay. The only reason you can summon, like
Remember, 95% of the servants in this game should not be summonable at all. Maybe not 95, but like a lot of them shouldn't be summonable. Right?
yeah, a lot of them shouldn't be summoned.
shouldn't
Sure,
exist.
like you
Any
can
alter-
argue. You can argue for that they
Okay.
shouldn't be summoned.
Exactly. Any
But, like-
alter, any extra classes normally should not be summonable by one person. Right?
Yeah, but then like think about it. Like
Even Angra is not.
the
meant
only
to be
reason
summoned.
you can summon those things is because
Gameplay.
you're what you call it.
You're
You have
protagonist in the
you're the
matchmaking.
the protagonist has connections to different kinds of things that are
Yeah.
allow him to contract servants.
And it's a gacha
On-
game, so.
Yeah.
But, well, Beryl ain't no protagonist. He ain't no protagonist here. He's an antagonist, a very scary antagonist. So, with this alter ego digitally from the future summoned into the world, or the reverse side, or wherever this Lostbelt is, here, under the command of possibly the more insane of the two
We'll see.
leftover cryptors, unless David's actually really, really crazy.
I don't know. Like David is like the scarier crazy
Well-
because like if he's crazy and he's kind of like quiet about it, that's
Yeah.
the scarier crazy.
Okay, but like, who of the two had the more impossible
Feet.
feat here now?
Like, okay,
David
David summoned a
has a
grand.
grand servant. We
David
know
summoned a grand.
this is not the first time this has happened. Marisbury did it.
But Marisbury had a direct catalyst to such grand
Yes.
servants.
So whether David has one or not, no idea.
My concern is that like how David has to have had a catalyst directly relating
To a
to one
god.
of the grands, and like
Potentially a god
seriously, like what the hell? Like
Okay.
what the heck? Come on.
a grand servant who eats death, quote unquote.
Well, we still don't know who or
what that is. If it's a human, if it's a god or whatever. David has a grand servant, but at least this guy, whoever he or she is, they're still human, right? Maybe unless it's a god. They're still of this planet, of this earth. I think. Well,
Yeah, well,
I don't
because
know where you count
a
gods.
grand must be like a human, like or what used to. A grand must have
a hero.
must have been a human for a time.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I guess David is not as in the holy crap impossible tier as Barrels is.
Like Barrels is like
Because he
how did
summoned
you summon an alter,
An alter ego from the future, digitally,
What?
as a fairy.
Like she
Does she actually look like that? First of all, is that the first
without
time?
the fairy wings? Then yes,
Is she that tiny?
yes, she's very small, but very evil.
Really?
Yes, she's like a demon.
Is she
Like
demon?
she's like an imp, but the imp is actually the demon lord.
Ah, so, is this thing, this Kazura drop, right? Oh yeah. Also, there's one more, right?
Huh?
Alter ego.
Which one?
Okay, you have Belt, Passion Lip, King Protea, BB herself. Oh no,
The
not BB
Sakura
herself.
5 are the
This is Kazura drop, right?
okay. The Sakura 5 are the alter egos of BB that were created when she separated herself. So that's Meltrilis, Passion Lip, King Protea, Violet, and
Kazura drop.
yes,
Who's Violet?
Violet is
Have we seen her before?
she's like the oldest, like the smartest you could
the
say.
Onesan.
Yeah, and she has the eyes of Medusa apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. The actual Like,
Well, she has
she
to
can use
wear.
that,
She has to wear her
glasses.
what you call it, glasses.
Just like Medusa.
Just like me. Yeah.
Alright, but okay. Violet is the only one left. Correct? If she doesn't show up here, will she show up in Lostbelt 7?
I don't think so. I think if they're ever gonna show her, she's gonna appear here and now.
What
The
do you mean
time is
here and now.
The time
In
is
Chaldea?
nigh.
She'll just show up one day like, hey.
No, like what I mean is like in the Lostbelt. Like if they're ever gonna show her, she's
the
gonna
time
be
is
in,
now.
The time is now. Cause
Okay.
like the situation, like it's hard for me to put into words how scary Kazura Drop is.
Really?
Like okay, think about it. During the scene she was there, they played the BB theme.
Well, yeah, that's because she's
And the BB theme means something is going wrong and somebody is gonna die soon.
Well, okay, would this be the first time since CCC that you've encountered a BB sort of thing? Because they never remember those encounters, right? Like, for example, in Oku,
well, okay, yeah.
you remember having Kiara there, you just don't remember how you met her. She says, oh yeah, it's you, it's Kiara.
Yeah, like they kind of made sure that you don't remember too much.
Yeah. Also, BB is there in
BB's in the
Chaldea. I'm still
computer.
convinced she's there in Chaldea.
She is still in
She's
the
just
computer.
not bothering to help you. Or there's nothing she can do at all. By the way, would the Dantes in your head also be there? Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
The Dante in your head.
I mean, yeah. I think he came back in Lostbelt 2, remember? He was there. He fought Shadow Hercules in your mind when Sitonai was testing you.
Right.
He was your only servant, right?
I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Okay, but yeah. Okay. Is Kazura Drop this... Is she that powerful that she is this, the threat to the alien goddess in that Lostbelt that
I don't
they
think
spoke of?
she's powerful.
How
But
powerful?
Maybe I don't think that powerful.
Also, does Kazura Drop break the rules of the summoning? Because, they had this whole...
What do you mean by break the rules?
Well, apart from the fact that she's not she's an alter ego that was summoned. You had Kadok with a caster, Ophelia with a saber, Akuto also with a saber.
I guess she breaks the rules a bit, but like I don't know how to like if they still following that rule anymore.
Yeah, this threw it out the window, honestly.
Yeah, cause like
How?
I mean burial is
How?
how yeah.
Why is the other question.
Yeah, why? Yes, why? Like
is his luck that extreme that he could summon a servant who wasn't in the game yet? He could not only that. They're not servants, are they?
which one?
The Sakura.
Technically, they're not servants.
Wow, how then?
I don't
What?
know. I don't know.
That's crazy. Okay, now we can get. I think we've had enough discussion for the servants because any more talk of Kazura Drop is going to drive us both nuts, which is probably what she wants.
Jesus.
Which is probably what she wants.
Yes, that's probably what she wants.
Okay, so on to the actual story discussion. Okay, so folks, I'm letting you know right now, I am literally reading Reddit updates as it happens. So if there's new updates, I'll let you guys know. But basically, what seems to have happened, according to the story, is that do you remember the prophecy
Prophecy.
that they seem to be having? The moment a star is born, right? There's a prophecy.
Yeah, the promised king. will
There's two
return.
children. It's the child of prophecy.
Yeah.
There's two of them,
What's
apparently.
Okay.
There's one who already exists in Chaldea. We know who she is.
Astoria.
Yes. There's another one.
Who?
It's Mash.
What?
It's Mash. Apparently, Mash is also a child of prophecy, whatever that means. So, digest. What do you think?
How? What do you mean by that? Like,
Okay, I'm going to read the excerpt. Dream sequence about some fairies rejoicing about the child of prophecy and that Artoria should hurry up. Then a scene of a burning village and an injured dwarf talking to Artoria saying that she's without a doubt the child of prophecy. Back to the present, Artoria is sleeping and apologizing over and over that she will do her best before she wakes up. Oberon tasks her to set up a barrier a bit far away so they can talk without her. So, we discussed to Oberon about the Lostbelts and say that this is the sixth one you're tackling. So Oberon is most definitely not the Lostbelt king, I think.
yeah.
Oberon says that we won't have to destroy this Lostbelt because it's already on its way.
Yes. Because like it's already prepped for destruction.
right? More like this time we should save it from its ruler, Morgan. So, Morgan's the Lostbelt King. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed now.
Yes. Unless they pull a fast one and they're like, haha, no.
I mean, considering as well, the one servant that we knew almost definitively who that was didn't show up
Yeah.
in K.
Yeah,
giant
right.
dude
We
with the
kind of
lancer.
pretty much knew he was there. He'll probably appear later on. Like, I'm almost convinced that he's probably either the anniversary servant or the second banner.
Here's the thing though. K's human. How are there still humans?
I don't know.
Fairy Knight K.
Could be summoned by the world.
Oh, right. Oh, like Tristan.
Yeah.
No. Tristan summoned by you.
Could
I
be
imagine Tristan
like red
summoned
hair.
by you. Yes, there we go. So, with more of this, Oberon knows that the genius, Leonardo da Vinci, insists that he is probably a PHH servant. I don't know what that means.
PHH. Phantom servant?
Pan-human history.
Ah,
That's the Oberon of pan-human history?
So there's a normal human history overall. Oh, that's good to know.
Well, that's interesting. Da Vinci thanked everyone that helped keep us safe. They have spare rooms in the bar and asked Artoria to rest up. Then we discussed the situation in the Lostbelt. This LB feels different from the other ones in that the other Lostbelts still concerned humans. In this Lostbelt, there are no humans at all. There are only werewolves, elves, dwarves, etc. This Lostbelt is weird that it's only an island and nothing else past the waters. It's like an alternative world, like an isekai.
Yeah.
Morgan has been ruling for it for over 2,000 years.
She's
But
been
Da
alive
Vinci
for
has heard
2,000 years. Wow.
Da Vinci has heard talk of a child of prophecy, so that's Castoria.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's Castoria.
A child of prophecy.
Now, Guda asked Oberon. Guda, I assume that's the name.
Protagonist.
Protagonist asked Oberon if he knows somehow where Mash is. He doesn't know, but he'll help you find her. He asks Protagonist to use the master-servant connection to feel if Mash is okay. What's that?
Because, like, as the master of a servant, you can feel, and you have a strong connection to them. You can feel their essence, like,
Okay.
if they're alive or not.
Okay. Now, Protagonist is able to do so and they're relieved. They will go to a town called Salisbury and gather some information. Does that sound like a...
Steak?
Okay, sure. Artoria feels iffy about going to Salisbury, but she says she can't leave Protagonist alone with Oberon as he somehow has the same smell as Merlin. Maybe they're both trolls. Not literal trolls.
More, maybe the mischievous type.
Yes, that's probably that.
Continue.
No, I'm looking up other stuff. Alright, let's see. There's something about Artoria being our master for the moment as camouflage is sort of city, but I'll pass on that. Okay. Went to a bar and Oberon is popular with the folks there because he's a king. He's a king. But they're all asking about him to return their money. Oh dear.
Oh my.
No, that's how it smells like Merlin. Then we meet Da Vinci in her maid outfit working on that bar. What?
So, wait.
That's why she dressed up like that.
Oh, okay. So Da Vinci was...
I read them out of order. I was just looking up from the most likely important stuff to the least likely important stuff.
Okay.
Somebody else. So it turns out, us being heroics and brave is a bad thing. Because our heroics are working against the prophecy by making Castoria less confident in herself. As the chosen one, she hesitated before moving in, allowing Mash to be instrumental in defeating the threat, and she's hurt when she sees how the protagonist's fire is reignited once they see Mash. Oberon notes that the city wasn't meant to be saved, and Mash and you shouldn't be reunited so soon. So, interesting stuff. In the prophecy, they say.
There's something more.
Oh, okay. Extra stuff. Here's some more stuff. Muramasa is here to destroy the Lostbelt on orders from Olga.
By you, Olga Marie, okay.
Da Vinci and Mash are the only Chaldea servants who can deploy safely in this Lostbelt for reasons I don't fully understand. So that's the writer. Pan-human history servants not summoned in this Lostbelt cannot enter. How's Tristan there?
Someone in the Lostbelt, maybe.
Maybe. And since Da Vinci and Mash are technically not servants, they can slide around this requirement. Da Vinci? She's a clone of
She's a creation.
Oh,
She's not
that's
technically.
right.
She's not a
That's
servant.
right. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of stuff. What do you think so far as I keep scrolling through this?
I'm running it through my head so far. It's interesting.
There's more of the Kazura drop surprise. We've got. Oh, that reminds me. You remember when we were talking about Odin a little while ago?
Yeah.
There's that whole tie-in that Odin and Arthur were both leaders of the Wild Hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's why he's there.
All right.
The Wild Hunt, whatever the Wild Hunt is. I'm sorry, I don't know what the Wild Hunt is.
I'm not super familiar with myself in as much anymore, at least.
Okay, so this is interesting. There's a guy here in the Reddit who updates the Type Moon wiki.
Uh-huh.
So he's asking questions from the Redditors.
Okay.
Let's see if we can help him
Maybe.
with the little knowledge we have.
Yeah, maybe.
Can anyone confirm that the Lostbelt diversion is because of Artoya rejecting Caliburn and Morgan taking over?
Okay, confirming that is the diversion of the Lostbelt, I doubt that is the reason.
Well,
I doubt it, unless...
the king rejected the sword?
Yes,
Wouldn't
but
that be a-
Morgan was king for 2,000 years already.
But this is probably after the...
So, like, yeah. So, she rejected Caliburn 2,000 years ago.
Oh yeah, something else. Why didn't Castoria age?
Maybe she was in the fairy world? Or magic?
Isn't this the fairy world?
Well, I don't
now?
know, but maybe magic or something.
Okay.
Merlin did something.
EX Lost Belt depth. What is the status of humanity in the Lost Belt and how bad is the situation? Well, we know. It's terrible. There's no human.
No, humans are non-existent.
What is Morgan up to? We don't know. What's Barrel's role so far? We also don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There is info about a divergence in 2017. What is this about? So, if our understanding is correct, in the year 2017, this world got pruned.
Yes.
Right? Why did it take so long?
It means that this world could have possibly been human history if not for the diversion. It would have gone up to there before it was diverted.
So what's the diversion? What's the point? What's the diversion point? Morgan, who has been ruling for 2,000 years, so... Wait, would this mean that... okay, if it diverges in 2017, did she rule starting from the year 17?
Maybe. 17 AD.
But then where did the diversion take place? Is it because Castoria's back?
Perhaps. Or perhaps it's because Mash is getting involved as another child of prophecy.
Maybe. I mean, I did read that somewhere. I have to go look for that specific thing
That's
again.
also really interesting.
Oh, another thing too. How is it possible to have summoned a servant from a Lost Belt before the Lost Belt came out? Well, okay, we don't know if quote unquote Castoria shows. If this is the first time she shows. Is this the first time she shows up in the story?
Yes.
Okay, fine. That makes more sense. So we'll go on from there. Already got info on the Fairy Knights. Okay, info on Morgan after she took over Camelot, and her rule would be appreciated. What Morgan did after she took over Camelot. So, I imagine the fairies and all them folks like it. Because she's been the queen 2,000
she's
years.
the queen, and then she's kept the age of the fairies from ending.
Okay. Here's a question. How is Albion alive?
Because the age of the fairies never ended.
So...
The Phantasmal Beasts never needed to pass over to the Phantasmal
So he's not
world.
digging to the center.
He won't need
the root.
to. Because the reason why he wanted to get to the other side is because he was late and the age of man was coming around, right?
Ah.
The age of that age was coming to an end. So it was like, oh my, what's happening? That's not good.
Here's a question I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on. Where's Vortigern?
Okay. You know, if you ask me, I think he's there somewhere.
Okay.
He's definitely like he's like in the background. Like yeah.
You still think Vortigern's
I
the
think
black
he's still there. I think that's
in that
him.
story? I thought that was the tree.
There is no tree.
No, but that's
Like,
the.
I think he
that is-
consumed the tree. Like,
So the black thing in the trailer, you think that's him?
like if you ask me, I think he's still there because no one has Rongominyad. Perhaps
Somebody
he
has
does.
to have Rogominyad.
Perhaps he has Rongominyad.
Uh-huh.
Because, like,
Why is it light? Isn't he a dark creature of the abyss?
well,
So-
yes, but he did that so that he became like that because he needed to contest Arthur as king. Because he didn't want... Like, the exact world that Vortigern wanted to create is this Lostbelt.
This world.
He didn't want
Full
the age
of
of
fairies,
the... Yeah,
full of...
he didn't want the age of the fairies to end. He wanted to kill Artoria so that the age would never come around. The age of man would never come.
I see.
And he would create an area so that Britain would be a preserved area of the age of the fairies, you know, like that. That was his entire goal. But that goal is here already.
So where
So
is it?
perhaps he took it upon himself to consume the tree so that in case something could happen to his ideal world, like he could deal with it.
But this
right?
is a world at the beginning of its end. Right?
maybe
It's already getting destroyed as it is.
it is because it has no tree to keep itself, you
Of-
know,
Existing.
existing, right?
Okay.
But Vortigern probably didn't know that, right?
see.
But like, you know,
Then again,
I would-
Ivan didn't know that either.
yeah, he was gonna destroy it anyway. But like, I was thinking about it. Like, if he has Rongominyad, like he would just be sitting back there letting Morgan handle all the
So
kingship stuff.
She's a
Because
puppet king.
no, she is the actual king. Like,
Queen.
think about it like this: if Vortigern is their uncle, Morgan is the favorite niece.
Yeah.
Castoria is that one niece he just throws an apple at or something.
Yeah.
It's exactly the situation. It's like,
Right.
this is my favorite niece. You handle everything, I'll just watch. The world is how I like it anyway.
Uh-huh.
I'll just...
So
I don't need to do anything.
yeah, because we have to consider as well that spear of Morgan is not Rongominyad.
It's not. That's why I'm thinking, what if Vortigern is a lancer?
Could he fit the class?
If he has Rongominia, then yes.
I don't think he. Well, this would be a Lostbelt Vortigern. This wouldn't
Lostbelt
be
Vortigern, yeah.
This
Like,
wouldn't be pan-human history Vortigern. That
yeah,
guy doesn't have.
yeah,
that.
he doesn't. But like,
He's a dragon.
you never know. Like, I still hope that through the passage of this Lost Belt, especially in a few days when the part 2 comes out, right?
Part 2
on-
comes out in a month.
I thought it was
July
July
14.
14?
Yeah.
It's not gonna take them that long to oh my god. Okay,
You
they're
know
gonna
how
wait
much-
for the
you
freaking...
you do know how much he wrote.
They're,
right?
yeah,
They
but
need
like
to put all that in
they're
there.
gonna wait for the first banner to end before they release that part. But like,
I mean, we waited half a year. A month isn't that long.
it still hurts though. But like, I am still hoping I have a tiny glimmer of hope that I will get to see Vortigern in Fate Grand Order. Because,
Mhm.
like, if you ask me, he's basically like the one servant that I actually want to be real, aside from like Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Because like
yeah.
those are my two best like
Genghis Khan
servants
and
that I
Vortigern.
want to see exist. Like
Yeah.
Genghis Khan, maybe Grand Rider. I just want to see him.
Yeah.
And Vortigern because he's so cool. I mean I like a lot of bad guy servants, but like
Look at that.
this guy was the
He's the
closest
man.
guy to victory against King Arthur.
Yeah.
The only
He-
reason he won was that holy spear. The only reason why he lost was because of the holy spear. But what if he had the holy spear?
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going with this?
Okay, something. Oh, there's one more question. Oh, there's two more questions. What is the difference between Morgan's Camelot and True Camelot? I think you can tell what the difference is from, the
Fairies.
scenery. Fairies.
There's no
all
humans.
that.
Everyone's a fairy, and like their Camelot
Yeah.
is, well,
Oh, and this last one's about the fairy knights. We have the fairy knights. Oh, that's interesting. The fairy knights are using the saint graphs of pan-human history knights. How do they have access to that?
how indeed.
Also, aren't some of Morgan's kids Knights of the Round Table?
Morgan's kids? Aside from Mordred?
Well, Mordred being the most known. Mordred wasn't the only kid of Morgan.
I don't think Mordred exists in this one.
He could.
I don't think he could.
2,000 years, I think Morgan would have gotten
Because Morgan is king.
Well,
she wouldn't
never
have needed
should do
to
that
get
in
the
the first
loins.
Unless she's somebody else's son.
I don't think so. Morgan is a bona fide woman in this one. A really good looking one at that.
She must have got with somebody else.
I don't know.
Fairy Mordred?
I don't think it's gonna happen that we have a fairy Mordred, but
That'd be cool.
it'll be cool, yeah, but I don't think it's likely.
Right. How do they have access to Saint Graphs of pan-human servants? How does that work?
I'm not sure. That's really interesting that they have access to that, which is
Okay. Here's something else. Tiny coincidence could lead to something, could lead to nothing. Okay. Do you remember what is Sion's full name?
Sion Eltnam Socaris.
Okay. Her father
Yeah.
is Oberon Eltnam Socaris.
Really?
Yes. Oberon, who is part of the Knights of Wallachia. True ancestor hunters.
Yes. And
Could be something there.
I don't think so. That's just a coincidence, I think. For the namesakes. I think that's just a coincidence.
Let's see where we're going. Because I'm still looking up at this very moment.
Morgan being able to loop her NP though.
Okay.
Concerning.
I gotta look at chapter 0. So, inside the Lostbelt, only Mash and Da Vinci-chan are able to function properly because heroic spirits don't exist here.
There was never need.
There was
Because there were
never
never...
Just like
well,
Lostbelt 3.
heroic spirit... Alaya doesn't exist, technically.
Just like Lostbelt 3, some
Because there are no
heroes were
humans.
weakened. So, LB3 had something similar where heroic spirits were weakened because they weren't needed, which is the big difference between these two Lostbelts.
Yeah.
So,
There
Mash
were
being
never
a
any-
demi-servant, Da Vinci being a homunculus, not the real Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Right? Ritsuko, Mash, and Da Vinci head out on foot to the Lostbelt. Pan-human history Tristan is unexpectedly there. Unexpectedly summoned, and everyone's like, "What? Where'd you come from? I've been here this whole time."
Which pan-human history? Like the actual...
guy, Tristan.
The guy Tristan.
So he's there from the start.
Yeah.
Most
that's
likely due
weird.
to Ritsuko's desire for help, Mash's shield, and they're in Cornwall, which is where Tristan is from.
Oh, that's good.
Tristan offers to lead the group, but everyone realizes they're lost because of the fog's effects, not because Tristan's eyes are closed.
Okay.
They fight what's equivalent to ghosts in the Britain Lostbelt. Mash realizes
The black
Bar-
sludge stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, another interesting thing, like those black sludge stuff, that has something to do with the big black sludge stuff.
Oh, I'm almost ready. I thought they were like Dark Sakura. Remember Dark Sakura?
Yeah, the shapeshifters.
Yeah, the shape-shifting grail monster.
I'm looking at this.
What
like
was
I'm
that,
looking
by
at them. They have like octopus things or something. I don't know.
They remind me of Sakura from Heaven's Feel. The little, what is that thing? Grail Kun in Carnival Fantasy.
Kun.
No, but like you remember she killed Artoria, the black thing. She ate people. She ate servants. She ate Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Mash realizes Black Barrel and Ortoneus aren't working properly and collapse. Da Vinci rushes and they quickly disappear because of the fog, and it's just Tristan and Ritsuka. The two stay close together, but the fog makes you forget everything, even your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Oberon was the figure concealed in the fog and everyone blacks out. He tried coming as fast as he could since Ritsuka and Ko had entered the nameless forest without any protection, but he was too late. He's got a moth-like companion with him named Bianca, who I imagine is the friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Seems like he's PHH Pan-Human History Oberon, since he knew Ritsuka is Chaldea's master and believes they can save the world. He leaves when he senses fairies nearby and leaves Ritsuka and Tristan to be rescued by them, but before he leaves, he states one thing that Ritsuka must know is that he must never reveal that he is a human.
Yeah, because they all try to kill him or something.
Yeah. Ritsuko and Tristan wake up in a tent inside a Fey village in Cornwall along with Castoria.
A Fey village.
None of them remembered who they actually are, so now they renamed Mash. Castoria is now Mash. Okay, that's why. There's no body swapping. I think.
Oh.
I think, huh?
So they just don't remember who each and every person
There
is.
still could be, though. There still could be.
So they just don't remember specifically.
Yep. So Mash, Castoria is now Mash, Ritsuko is now Hermia, and Tristan is now Tristram. These elves, beasts, and dwarves of the village seemed almost threatening at first because Ritsuko seemed human, but they ended up really happy that they have new friends in the village. There are 6 fairy clans in total: Wind Fae, elves; Earth Fae, dwarves; Fang Fae, beasts; Wing Fae, butterfly wing fairies; Mirror Fae, who disappeared many years ago; King Fae.
King Fae?
The root of all conflict, they call it. Is it the black things?
Maybe.
Referring to Morgan? What?
Oh, King Fae. King of the Fairies.
Ah.
Morgan Le Fay.
Ah, yes, yeah. Alright, so have you digested what I just read?
I'm concerned. There's a lot of lore.
What?
See something?
Okay, we seem to be having conflicting responses on on Reddit, because there's somebody here that says Bukazura drop is not Beryl Servant.
It's not.
It's Morgan.
Morgan is Beryl Servant?
Beryl's words supposedly.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a secret. I am Morgan's master. Oh, I mean, you wouldn't know what a master is even if I told you. Well, yeah. It's like I'm Morgan's husband, you know? You kill me, the strength of Morgan's army and herself will be cut in half.
So he's the master of Morgan.
Then what's Kazura drop?
Concerned. Even more concerned now.
Again, we're seeing this as we go. We are updating as it's going on.
I'm even more concerned now.
Right? Any more and we're gonna lose our crap here. But man, interesting stuff. What else have we got? As I still reload Reddit right as we're speaking. Let's see. No third essential. Yeah. So Morgan, Lostbelt King, how Beryl summoned the Lostbelt King. Oh, hold the phone here, folks. Hold the phone here. This could be something else. Hear me out. Okay. So Ryan.
Yes.
Morgan was summoned by Beryl. This is this seems to be
The servant.
what's going on.
Yes.
So we're going back to the assumption that Morgan is Beryl's servant, not Kazura drop.
Okay.
If Morgan was summoned by Beryl first, how could she be the Lostbelt King? Unless they killed the Lostbelt King. 2,000 years ago, they must have killed the Lostbelt King. Who could that be? Uther?
Maybe. Probably.
Vortigern?
I don't know.
Uther Pendragon, it makes sense to me. He's king of...
Then it would make sense that, like, to gain control of it, who's next in line, right? Kill Uther, Morgan takes control.
But the sword.
Sword of Selection, Castoria didn't want it.
But she got it.
She got it. She didn't want it. She didn't accept the title. So who's next in line?
Morgan. That's right. So, because time-wise, that doesn't make sense if Beryl summoned the Lostbelt King of a Lost Belt.
It doesn't make sense. How
So
do you
she
summon...
must be pan-human history. Morgan, right?
Maybe.
Questions.
Many questions.
And, well, Reddit seems to be not so active anymore, though people are still talking. But, not much after that. So, while sorry we couldn't give an exactly what happened, what was going on moment, we do have lots of stuff to digest in our heads. Oh, here we go. Okay. Prologue. Prologue.
Prologue.
Okay. The chapter opens with protagonist getting visited by a certain magician about the staff of selection and the chosen child, along with its cryptic poet, only to be interrupted because he got found out. So,
Wait.
I assume this is Merlin.
Merlin, okay.
Because they said Merlin appeared in the opening. Okay, that's Merlin, right?
Yeah, so Merlin is in the opening.
Protagonist wakes up from the dream and Foe having an idea who visited the dream, so it's Merlin.
Merlin.
But protagonist doesn't get a single break as an alarm went off right after, in which Sion proclaims that if actions are not taken, the Earth will end in 24 hours due to the destruction of Britain's Lostbelt, actually ending up affecting the entire world,
Oh my.
dragging it along to death.
Oh gosh.
As they hastily prepare and urgently get moving to Britain's Lostbelt, protagonist also found out that the other objective is to obtain Rongominyad by having attempt negotiation with the Lostbelt King in order to go against the alien god. Maybe Rongominyad itself was the threat, right?
Yeah.
As the conversation went on, Stormborder
The Storm
managed to
Border.
reach the outer barrier of Britain, and thus Nemo pronouncing the start of the mission by breaking through the outer barrier of the Lostbelt. So,
Yeah.
Merlin's still around.
Makes sense.
How?
I mean,
Merlin's
it's
still
hard to
around.
get rid of him, that's for sure.
Merlin's still around to some extent. How? What? Like, okay. The destruction of this lost belt will destroy the world?
Interesting.
Very.
In what way?
Well, you once said yourself, Vortigern is like a black hole.
I don't know.
In the
But like,
universe?
why would it destroy the world? If it
There's already no
collapses?
tree. There's a pillar of light holding. Perhaps if Rongominyad goes with it, the world ends.
Because Rongominyad is the pillar of the world.
But then what happens to the goddess Rongominyad from the Camelot Singularity? Isn't she still there?
Well, I'm not sure.
More stuff. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Yeah, Khazro Drop is not the servant of Beryl. It's Morgan. If this is okay. You know what? That lines up. Think about it. Okay. They can't get more Rongominyad now because the Lost Belt King that they're thinking of is already dead. Probably killed by Morgan, I'm gonna assume.
Okay.
Right? Where is Rongominyad is the next question. Who has it? Because I don't think that spear of Morgan's is Rongominyad.
That's not Rongominyad.
And the fact that she doesn't use it in her ascension, unless this is some sort of
It doesn't
special...
change either.
Yeah.
Like, that's just her spear, because she can just change it into a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like, what the heck? Oh, that's so... I'm so confused now.
Okay, we got a few extra stuff from chapter 2 of this. There's an unknown narrator observing Mash who is unsteady and almost forgetting stuff. 3 goblins found her but was
Wait.
scared to...
Unsteady? And
Unsteady?
like, the narrator was forgetting?
No. Some unknown narrator observing Mash.
Okay.
Mash is unsteady and also forgetting stuff.
Yeah, okay.
3 goblins found her but was scared to attack her because she looks sturdy and intimidating. They took advantage of her confused state and convinced her that she's their comrade and her name is Anisu.
Okay, Anis.
There's also a white wolf observing all this.
Okay.
I don't know anything about a wolf,
The only giant wolf that I know of is Lobo,
but he's not
the king
white.
of wolves.
Oh, yeah. He should be there.
That would make sense. He should be there. He's alive. He's a
Wait,
phantasmo.
but that's just
technically.
Lobo. What about Hessian? The
Yeah,
headless
maybe
horseman?
not. He doesn't need to be there.
Lobo, the Wolf King, Lobo.
Yeah, maybe the wolf.
But he won't be angry. And
Lobo, the
stuff.
wolf king.
That could make sense. That could work. Oh, by the way, I wonder what the Goetia appearance will be. Goetia Romani appearance in
Yeah,
this will be.
we'll see. I guess in the future, but that's probably a part 2 thing.
All right. Well, since Reddit no longer has any spoilers to give at the
Yeah.
moment, I think this is a good place to cap off.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So, what have we found out? There is a scary psychopathic programmed alter ego in the world. Oh no! Last thing. Okay, I told you last night as we discovered this Reddit going on. The theory about this Camelot happening in the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible?
I don't think as much anymore. I don't think it's likely.
Yeah, because not only that, shouldn't Morgan be a human?
Maybe they realize that she isn't normally she isn't a human because she's a servant now, right?
But servants don't exist here. They can't
But
function.
isn't she a servant of Beryl?
But again, servants don't. Didn't they say servants don't? They're getting weaker. With the okay, Lostbelt servants, I don't know if they count. Because, like,
Lostbelt servants probably not because they
but
can.
she isn't a Lostbelt servant. She's Beryl's servant.
We don't know anymore. We don't know.
What is this madness? So okay, so going back to the recap. So we've got a mash that we can't find. Everyone's forgotten stuff when you're slowly starting to remember. Castoria is going to ascend, probably becomes the third Castoria at some point in the Lostbelt.
Yeah, but yeah, because she needs to assume the title of king, right?
Yes, eventually. We'll get Mash back. Mash has her full powers.
Yeah.
We've got good guys.
Bad guys. And
a
everything.
crazy, psychopathic
AI.
AI in the form of a fairy.
Yeah.
Out to the who knows what.
If you're if you're saying that it's not Kazura Drop because she's a fairy, Kazura Drop can eat things and take its properties.
She's like Kirby?
Kind of, but in a more demented way. She kills them and then takes their power.
So like Majin
Evil
Buu?
Kirby.
Majin Buu?
Less jelly called Majin Buu.
Kid Buu. That crazy.
That crazy, but like not as pink. You know, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do. Oh Lord, Lord, look at that. So we're going back and forth with the whole it's Kazura Drop. No, it's Morgan. Then again, didn't Kirstaria have multiple servants?
Yes, he did.
Oh dear.
So it's a possibility.
Plus, Beryl himself is not human.
Yeah.
Or that or he's hiding.
I don't think
He's
he's human.
faking.
He's not. I don't think he's human anymore. At least.
Yeah.
People are saying he's a werewolf, so
Makes sense to me.
would make sense.
Oh, one last thing. What's Pepperoncino's role in this?
We don't know either.
He is there.
He's there, but we don't know.
Questions. We have to wait for July 14th for the answers.
So long. Oh my god.
We waited a half a year. We can wait a month. Now. So that was Gacha Rock and Roll, our Lostbelt 6 Avalon the Fae episode. We will be back tomorrow talking about all them Genshin Impact leaks. Mihoyo trying to get one over on the leakers by leaking
I'll
it themselves.
do it myself, yeah.
But then the leakers leaked everything else.
yeah.
So
They're like, you try to leak yourself. No, we can leak better than you.
right. So, any final last minute thoughts before we close out today?
No, I'm good.
Praying for the safety of Ritsuka as they
Yes.
deal with this little unassuming
Lostbelt.
Lostbelt with the tiny fairy of mass
Can we
destruction.
stop talking about her?
Okay,
Jesus.
okay. We've got save your quartz, folks. This Lostbelt looks like it's gonna have a lot of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't have God Huna, maybe Morgan is worth getting instead.
Yeah.
Just maybe. I'm still gonna go for him.
I regret rolling a bit on him. Now that Morgan came out, I'm like,
Well,
I should have just waited.
2 years.
I should have just waited.
We've got 2 years. It's a lot. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, but that's only like 1,000 quartz.
1,000 quartz is a lot.
Sure, maybe in some people's eyes.
Do you think 1,000 quartz would be enough together?
Yes. And it's not an understatement. It's
Well, yeah.
happened
Well, yeah,
to
that's
people.
true.
Okay,
Right.
I think we're good now.
We're
yeah.
good. Goodbye.
Bye.